All right, everyone. Welcome to the JO Sports Wrap. I'm O.
And I'm Jay.
All right, Juan. Let's get started, man. So, do you think Chris Bosh should be in the Hall of Fame?
Chris Bosh, as a uh, Chris Bosh is a great player. Stats are there. Um, he came out of the legendary 2003 draft class, which produced also LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, among many other great elite talent players. Uh, Chris Bosh's career was cut short, but even prior to him being cut short, he still performed on the court for numerous seasons. We're talking about the grand total of 14 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, from when he was
Yeah.
drafted to he was forced to retire because of blood clots. Uh, Two NBA titles out of it, numerous NBA All Star appearances. Chris Bosh
No All
deserves to be in the Hall
Pros.
of Fame. No All Pros, correct? No All Pros. However, um, you think about a situation where he was to begin the career. Toronto was a lost identity for more than a decade. Chris Bosh was the centerpiece of that team for many decades. He put the entire city on his back. Not many
Yeah.
players can say they did that for Toronto. Maybe
When,
Kawhi Leonard can.
when he had the little dreads.
Exactly, when he had the little
Ooh, he was
dreads.
cool, man. Then he cut it off when he got to the Heat. I was like, no, he looks so dope.
And he was a guy that was forced to put on 50 pounds of muscle to try to play center, and he still did great as a center. However, um, that caused so many injuries to his knees at that point. So they moved him back to power forward. Been great ever since.
So, Hall of Fame or not?
Hall of Famer.
Okay. Uh, I don't disagree that he should be in the Hall of Fame because stat wise, look, I'll share my screen with you. Check this out. Share screen. You can see my screen, right? So check this out. So these are people who are in the Hall of Fame that have the lowest career points per game. So I looked up Chris Bosh's, and his career points per game is under 20 points. But Bosh did have how many seasons of check this out. So he had 5 consecutive seasons of 22 plus points per game. So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, should he be in the regular Hall of Fame? Yeah, for sure. Because according to this, all these dudes, this dude's in the Hall of Fame with 3.5 points per game. Like what the hell? Like this thing is anemic. Look at this. 3.5, Mel Daniels. Ben Wallace has 5.7 points. And even Jason Kidd's on here, dude. Check this out. 12.6 points per game. I had no idea Jason Kidd was so bad at scoring. I thought he was like an efficient scorer. Like maybe
Yeah,
he wasn't a baller.
he was an efficient scorer, but we're talking about during seasons where you had what he played alongside Vince Carter, over, and then before he even played for Vince Carter, what he played over what in Phoenix.
Yeah.
There are other primary scorers there. We take that into consideration, but if we're looking at it on this, Wes Unseld in the Hall of Fame, and homie's got what 10.8 points per game.
10.8. Well,
I
these
mean,
Chuck Cooper 6.7, Louis Dampier 6.7, Buddy Jeanette 7.6. Like there's some really low point, and even if you go rebounds per game, like there's some pretty low numbers too. Like
yeah,
that
true.
Louis Dampier is in the Hall of Fame with 6.7 points per game, 1.1 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game. Like that is he
But
must have
look at
done
that
something
field goal
amazing.
percentage. Look at that field goal percentage. Look at those minutes. Look at those total
Mm,
rebounds,
yeah,
and look at that free throw percentage too.
and
The
he didn't
same
play
can
that
be
many
said about
games.
that too. The same can be said about Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman's not a double. I don't think he's a double point scorer for his
No,
career.
he's on here 7.3.
Look at that. But look at those
Yeah.
rebounds on Rodman.
Yeah, that's a sexy number.
13.1.
Same thing
Look
with
at
this
those.
West
Yeah, yeah.
Unseld, sorry. 14 rebounds per game. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on.
Jerome Bettis.
Okay. Well,
The bus.
since we're still on me, I'm gonna keep the camera on. I'm just gonna jump right into these stats. So just off the bat, NFL rushing all time, he is eighth. And as you can see, from number 1 to number 16, everybody's in the Hall of Fame except for 2 guys. Actually 3 guys, but we all know Adrian Peterson's the first ballot Hall of Famer, correct?
Oh, definitely. No question about it.
Okay. So Frank Gore and oh, actually, it's only Frank Gore because Jerome Bettis is in the Hall of Fame. So I guess you want him to not be in the Hall of Fame. So yes, is he a Hall of Famer? For sure. Jerome Bettis has insane stats. for a dude who was as girthy as he was, 2-time All-Pro, and check this out. This doesn't let me do it right now, but he had 1,600-yard season and 2 1,400-yard seasons. Was not a big touchdown guy. What?
What I was gonna say was looking at those same stats that you're line right now. Look at those touchdowns. He was not a big touchdown guy.
Not a big touchdown guy.
And he was in he was during the heavy running back era. Remember?
Correct.
During that time,
but still got 91 touchdowns for his career. There's only
91.
But there's very few guys who even have over 100.
That's true.
So 91 is a nice number. And he was also a 2-time All-Pro, meaning he was at least the best or considered the best at his position for the years that he played, 2 seasons. Because Pro Bowls don't mean anything to me. I mean, they do mean something, but they don't mean anything compared to an All-Pro. That means you were the best. And he was a 2-time All-Pro. And that's it. What do you have, man?
I say he's not a Hall of Fame caliber running back at this time. Now, if it was a fullback category, I would say sure. Jerome Bettis definitely. Fullback, definitely. Because that's what he played most of his career. Look, I mean, again, look at those touchdowns. That's symbolic. That's kind of similar to fullback running for fullback touchdown numbers for fullbacks. So to me, he's more of a fullback who just happened to be a power runner who Pittsburgh leaned on to be the running back. To me, he's a fullback. I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think he's a fullback because the amounts of touches he got. People who played fullback in that era did not get that many touches. The closest thing to the last real fullback who got touches was Mike Allstott. Go Bucks! So Mike Allstott was the last real fullback that got meaningful fullback carries. And yes, he got from the tail also, but he was in a fullback position most of the time getting the ball. A-train. Choo-choo.
No, yeah, and he was a monster. Don't get me wrong, he was a monster as fullback. But is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, but he's a fullback. So Jerome Bettis was not a fullback. He was a running back, and he got yards at running back. He didn't get yards at playing fullback. He got yards at running back. And he got to 8th all time. I'm sure by the time he retired, he was probably top 6 or 5. He was probably top 5 when he retired. It's just Frank Gore has passed him, Peterson has passed him, Curtis Martin has passed him. Oh, they retired the same year actually, and LaDainian Tomlinson passed him. So Jerome Bettis retired top 5 all time.
And he showed one Super Bowl out of it.
But you can't count Super Bowls with running backs. Running back, the only people who Super Bowls matter and greatest of all time is quarterbacks, because a running back can only have so much effect on a team. Derrick Henry, if the quarterback has a bad day, a bad drive, it doesn't matter how good Derrick Henry plays. The Titans aren't going to be as good. And the same thing applies to any great running back. You're only as good as your quarterback can take you. Even those great Baltimore Ravens teams, even the Bucs team that won. They won because of defense, because those quarterbacks were anemic.
All right, but by that same standard, then every single running back who played from the modern era, from Barry Sanders on, who at least contributed to let's say 10, 20 wins, 10, 12 wins this season, should be in a Hall of Fame.
That's different. Winning, they do amount to some regular season winning. But they don't amount to playoff success or Super Bowl success. At least not in the last 20 plus years, maybe less than 20 years. What running back can you think of that was on a Super Bowl team in the last 20 years? I was like, damn, that guy was the man. Because Adrian Peterson was the man, no Super Bowl. LT was the man, no Super Bowl. Marshawn Lynch is one guy, but he wasn't the man. He was a very good running back, but he wasn't the man.
Sean Alexander.
They didn't win a Super Bowl. He took them to a Super Bowl, didn't win one.
But
that was a great season, though. But I think Sean Alexander's underrated. He's definitely an underrated back.
Definitely. I mean, that was a pass-heavy team mostly, and he did it with most of the time guarding, not guarding, but blocking, helping block for Hasselbeck, Matt Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck, yeah.
That was a pass-heavy team.
We want the ball, and we're gonna score. That's embarrassing. Oh, looking back on it, if he would have done it, he would have been awesome, a badass forever. Look at that guy. Definitely. But it didn't work out for him.
I mean, not even Peyton Manning can say he had that kind of a talent at running back. I mean, Peyton Manning's had Edgerrin James. Edgerrin James is a great player. But
Joseph Adai, I love Joseph Adai. That dude had 2 years and he was monster.
Mm-hmm.
They had Dominic Rhodes, which was an average to above average running back at the time.
True.
So he had some backs. Did he ever have Marshall? Not Marshall.
No, not Marshall. I was thinking, who did he play with in Denver?
Wait. He didn't have at all. He didn't have not Marshawn. The guy who played for the Rams.
Oh,
Marshall
you're talking
Faulk.
Marshall Faulk?
Did he
No,
ever play
Tom
with
Brady
Peyton?
had him. Tom Brady had him though.
Really?
I think Tom Brady did have Marshall Faulk for one season.
But
No, you know
I
what?
like
Drew
Marshall Faulk.
Bledsoe did. Drew Bledsoe did. Never mind. Not Tom Brady. Tom Brady had Kevin Falk.
Mm. Yeah, but he had Kevin Falk for like more than half a decade.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a stand, but he wasn't a lead back. He was just like a guy
No,
who
he
was there
wasn't.
on third downs or
Mhm.
like anything
Oh,
above
definitely.
third
Yeah.
downs. He wasn't running the ball
Specialty
that much.
situations here and there.
Yeah,
He
specialist.
wasn't. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, specialist. But yeah, man, like if you look at this leading rushers of all time, and, you know, I'm slowly starting to turn on Frank Gore.
Mhm.
I'm still not fully there, but when you see the top 17 guys, the 17th guy is Fred Taylor. And then when you compare Fred Taylor's stats to Frank Gore, you can never put Fred Taylor in the Hall of Fame until you put Frank Gore.
That's true.
And
I mean,
then
Fred
and
Taylor
even
was a
then,
great.
yeah, he was, but he
He was.
wasn't.
He
He
was
was
just
very
bad. He was on a
good.
bad team for many decades.
Yes,
You know,
that
many
is
years.
true. But perfect example. Goes to show you a very good to above average to maybe even great running back who didn't produce success because you need a quarterback. It's a quarterback-driven league, and it's always been. Like,
Yeah.
what team has won a Super Bowl with a running back leading it? That it was just
That's.
like
It's
the
rare. It
running
is
back.
rare.
Like I can't think of any team. Maybe the Cowboys that had Emmett, but even then they had Michael
Yeah,
Irvin.
they
They
had.
had a
Yeah.
disgusting offensive line. They had
Mm-hmm.
defensive players. It's like who else has like been a top dog like back? Walter Payton, maybe the last one, because that quarterback was terrible, and it was on Walter Payton's back. But the defense then was his
That
defense was
defense was
incredible.
monstrous. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That was
85 Bears.
exactly. And they almost went undefeated too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That
the
was a
Dolphins
legendary.
beat them. The Dolphins
Yeah.
beat them. Marino beat them. He said,
Yeah.
Dolphins are keeping that undefeated.
And that was legendary coach. I'm forgetting the name right now. It's escaping me.
You're a Dolphins
Ditka, Mike
fan.
Ditka, Mike Ditka. That was
Oh,
Mike
you're talking
Ditka's
about
squad.
what was the Dolphins coach?
No, that was you know what? It's escaping me right now too.
It's
I'm a
escaping
Dolphins
me.
fan too. Shit. Ah man, that was legendary coach Shula.
Shula, Don Shula.
John Shula.
Don Shula. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don Shula. Yeah, it's
Hey, but
Dick had a heart attack. Has he passed? No, right?
no, I don't think he passed, but I think he smoked heavy cigars like
Yeah.
constantly, and he didn't live like a good diet either. I think he's still. I don't think he passed. I guess that's something we have to check on at some point. But
No,
I
yeah,
wanted to ask you a
he's
question
passed.
while I have you here and I have your full attention. Hall of Fame, NFL, Pro Football Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on either creating this? Because right now the NFL Hall of Fame the Pro Football Hall of Fame pretty much is honored NFL accolades. However,
Yes.
the NBA Hall of Fame, which I think they call the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, they honor many different things. For example, ABA is honored in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, coaches, some college players, some college teams, some even world accolades. For example, I can't think off the top of my head right now. But what do you think about either keeping them separate or combining them?
That's a good question. I think they should definitely be separate, like separate entities. Like there should be a football Hall of Fame somewhere, and which I guess I mean if the NFL Hall of Fame is in Canton, I'm assuming the other one should be in Canton because of the origin, maybe. But I don't know. It could be somewhere else. Because I think the NBA's problem is that they let a lot of like people who shouldn't be in like the same Hall of Fame with pros. You get me? Like, yes, they should be in the Hall of Fame for their achievements in basketball, just in general, for being a coach or a collegiate player, or maybe even like an amazing high school player. Like that's cool. But like there should be like an NBA Hall of Fame where just like NBA players, and then there's like a Hall of Fame just for basketball players. And the NFL should maybe do the same, but I don't know. Like, what would you put in there? Like college? Like it would mostly be just college people
College, yeah. I mean, you can't
because
honor because you can't honor the Canadian Football League. I mean, that's different.
no,
You
or
can't even do
the
NFL Europe
XFL,
or the
XFL, or
XFL
any of that
or the
stuff. It'd be
AFL.
weird.
Yeah, you can. Well, maybe you can honor the because didn't they acquire the American Football League back in the 70s, which is where the Raiders and the Dolphins came from.
Oh yeah, I think it was a partnership. I don't know. Did they buy him out? Maybe they bought them out.
It was merger. I
It's a
know that
merger, I think.
league was. Yeah, I know that league was in financial trouble. And the NFL happened to be thriving at the time. So maybe you can honor them as a part of it because technically speaking, for legal reasons, they're together. But what about their contribution from NFL Europe? I mean, I'm not saying that NFL Europe was anything very interesting to watch, but you had some good talent go there, and you had
Yeah, I'm
some,
sure some guys who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
and it opened the market in Europe. I mean, now look
Yeah.
at it. You still have some pro football leagues forming in Europe. A lot of talent comes out of Europe too. Not many people know that.
Maybe there should be a like Deion Sanders just talked about this. That like the guys in the Hall of Fame know that there's like a higher level to the Hall of Fame. And maybe that's what there should be. Like it should be like a Hall of Fame, and there's like a level above that. But then it'd be like weird also. But there should be a level because Deion Sanders and let's say I don't know, Peanut Tillman, who I think could be a Hall of Famer one day, shouldn't be in the same like level of Hall of Fame. Like Deion Sanders is like here, and Peanut Tillman is here. Even though Peanut Tillman is awesome, if you did like a draft, Peanut Tillman would probably get drafted to one of the 30 teams as a corner. When you rank everybody all time, I'm sure Peanut Tillman's in the top 100 best corners of all time, if not like top 50 plus. So
hey, but by that same standard, we can't consider Barry Sanders on the same level as
for sure,
exactly. I mean,
for sure, Barry
Sanders.
But Deion and Barry,
Sanders, yeah,
that's the same class.
It would have to be. It would have to. Well, who was? Come on, Deion Sanders was an all-around guy, and how many Super Bowls did he win?
Yeah, but that's different. But he didn't attribute like fine. He wherever he went, he won a Super Bowl. But he was in really good teams. Like yes, did he help? Like was he a piece to the puzzle? Fine, but both those teams are Troy Aikman and Steve Young that won those Super Bowls. So it's not like he was winning with like I don't know Trent Dilfer, or I don't know whoever was the name of the guy who won for with Baltimore. I don't even remember that guy's name. Gus Farad or something. I don't know.
No, 2000, right? Wasn't that Jim Harbaugh? No, that was Trent.
That was Trent Dilfer. So who was the quarterback when the Bucks won?
The Bucks, which one in 2002?
Yeah, when the Bucks won in 02.
Sims. Chris Sims, I think. No,
Chris Sims got drafted after. Chris Sims was another quarterback for that team.
Okay, because I know their running back was Allstott, wasn't it?
Also was the fullback. They had Warwick Dunn.
They had Warwick Dunn. They had a young Warwick Dunn. Man,
what was the name of that quarterback?
On that defensive side, they had Warren Sapp, didn't they?
I think it was Gus Farad. I think Gus Farad was the quarterback for the Bucks.
Well, let's check it out. Since you can pull up the stats right now. I don't think it was Gus Farad though.
Let's see. That's a weird Gus Farad.
If it was Gus Farad, then hey, let's put Gus Farad in the Hall of Fame for some reason. Gus Farad. Huh?
Maybe it wasn't Gus Farad. Brad Johnson.
I can't even remember that guy.
I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't even remember that guy.
So yeah, Deion was playing, but Deion and Barry Sanders, there's an argument between that Barry Sanders is the greatest running back ever. Who would be in the argument? Jim Brown, Walter Payton, maybe Adrian Peterson and LT?
Definitely. I don't. Adrian Peterson. He's
what do you mean, Adrian Peterson? I think Adrian Peterson. He's in consideration.
Adrian
Peterson, in my opinion, is better than like Daniel Tomlinson.
Ooh.
Like, bro, Adrian Peterson's he was throwing people off him. Like he was doing. LT is a speedster with a little wiggle.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson is everything except a he's not a great receiver out of the back.
No, he wasn't. No,
average to below average. I like doing that. But LT, man, he can like.
LT was all around. That's why I'm saying it's like LT was all around. The man could catch. The man could take it from the backfield.
When all you need is to run the ball. And they played each other in his rookie year. Remember that? Adrian Peterson, and he broke the record, I think, against them. He broke the rushing yards record against, like, that is ballsy as a rookie. Hold the crown.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, Adrian Peterson. I would personally rank Adrian Peterson 4th all time and LT 5th all time. But that's just my personal. But yeah, I think Barry Sanders is number 1. And then Walter Payton and maybe Jim Brown can, like, fight for it. Because those guys all have, like, crazy amounts of all pros and crazy amounts of, like, rushing titles. Because they played in different eras. So they were able to accumulate a lot. So that's why I don't think Emmitt Smith should ever be considered top 5. Because Emmitt Smith played in the same era as Barry Sanders. And his offensive line has, like 3 Hall of Famers? Like, if Barry played behind that line, he would have averaged like 3,000 yards a season, man. Like, it would have been wild.
He probably would have stayed in the league a lot longer too.
Yeah, he would have been winning. Imagine the Cowboys get him. They in theory, one would think they win more than 3 titles
Mhm. Yeah,
because
that's
I
true.
think he is vastly better than
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith. Like Emmett Smith is
Yeah.
a great running back, top like
Yeah, he was. He
one
was,
of
he was a good
all-time
running back.
rushing
He was a
leader,
good
all-time
running back.
touchdowns, whatever. But skill-wise, like when you see him against like when you see Walter Payton like video and you see like even Jim Brown video, it's just like he's just he's like Adrian Peterson. Jim Brown and Adrian Peterson are similar. Just like I'm a grown ass man in this league, you know. Like they were grown ass men. That shit was scary, man.
It
It's
was,
awesome.
yeah.